Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Our respectful homage to our most venerable teacher Bhante Pinnath Loku Swamin Wahanse. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo Buddhaya. So we were talking about many things about our Supreme Buddha based on the book Acharya Manuso. Recently our Pinnath Loku Swamin Wahanse gave us to read. And then we are so grateful to our Loku Swamin Wahanse for doing this great work to make our minds faithful in the Supreme Buddha's teachings. So, as you remember, we were talking about the birth of Prince Siddhartha. Do you remember? And then when our Prince Siddhartha was born on the same day, ascetic Asita was visiting in the Tavatingsa heaven, if you remember. And then he was surprised with the marvelous celebrations in the heavenly world. And then he questioned, why are you so happy, celebrating, singing, dancing, doing many kinds of interesting things? What is the reason? And then the heavenly beings said to our ascetic Asita, it was something amazing happened in the human world. What was that? Prince Siddhartha was born in the human world. He just visited the palace of King Suddhodana and saw this beautiful Prince Siddhartha, our Mahabodhisattva. And then, so King Suddhodana wanted this small prince to worship this ascetic Asita. And then with that incident, so they noticed that the Prince Siddhartha's lotus feet placed on the forehead of this ascetic Asita. And then with that, ascetic Asita was surprised and amazed. And then he worshipped this small Prince Siddhartha. And with that worship, the other people in the king's palace, the king and then queen, and then all the people, all the gathering in the king's palace, worship the Prince Siddhartha. And then we were talking about that incident, if you remember. And then King, the ascetic Asita, if you remember, Asita was the counselor of Suddhodana's father's kingdom. And then he renounced his kingdom. And then he did not want to give his service to the kingdom. And he went to the Himalayas and became an ascetic. And then he had that psychic potencies and all that stuff too. So visiting the king's palace, seeing the Prince Siddhartha, he just visited his sister's house to see the young boy who had that sister who was called Nalaka. So I have that information that I can share with you. Nalaka's ordination was taken place on the same day in the Prince Siddhartha was born. So I will share that information with you. This is the information I have. So Nalaka was encouraged to become monk. So Nalaka is the young boy, and then the ascetic Asita wanted him to become monk under the guidance of the Buddha's dispensation. So the Buddha was just born. He was only 1 day now. But ascetic Asita wanted him to become monk to follow the teachings. Why? Ascetic Asita will not live long to see the Supreme Buddha in the future. He will die. And then I will read that. The ascetic Asita left the palace and went straight to his sister's house. She had a young son named Nalaka. The ascetic Asita encouraged his nephew, the young man Nalaka, to become monk. Nalaka approached the Blessed One. So you know that after uh, so so now the prince is only 1 day, and then at the age of 35 this prince Siddhartha became the Buddha, and until then Nalaka as a monk wandering here and there looking for the Buddha and waiting to hear the word Buddha. He was practicing this Dhamma. He didn't have Dhamma, but he was looking for the Dhamma to practice as a very restrained person, going from village to village and see something amazing. The people lived in the Buddha's time are amazing. You know that they had a big thirst to um, learn the Dhamma, to practice the Dhamma, to understand this Dhamma in the time of the Supreme Buddha. For example, this is Nalaka. He was really encouraged. He was very, very determined to see the Supreme Buddha in the future. For 35 years, he was waiting as a monk to see the Supreme Buddha. And then uh, I give this chance to read someone else this part. Maybe um, okay, Anuja.
Bante, is it me?
Yeah.
Yes, Bante. Thank you, Bante. Nalaka approached the Blessed One and asked him about the practice of a sadhu. The Blessed One taught him the practice of sadhut, Moneya Patipada in a single Buddha's dispensation. Only one monk trains himself in the practice of Sagehut, Moneya Patipada. In the Buddha Gautama's dispensation, Nalaka was the one destined to live by this practice.
Very
Venerable
good.
Nalaka Bhante is announcing units of desire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you
Can
can go
I?
ahead.
Yes, Bhante. He heard the Dhamma from the Buddha only once, and with that first listening, he was satisfied. He met the Buddha only one time, and with that first meeting, he was satisfied. He never again came to see the Buddha. Only once would he go for alms food to a village and would never return to the same village again. Bante, can I read this too, or shall I stop?
Okay, you can go ahead.
Yes, Bante. Only once he received alms food from a house and never visited that house again. He lived under shade of a tree or in an open space. He lived there only for 1 day and never returned to the same place again.
Okay, many merits for that. So see
Yes,
that
Bante. Bante. Thank you,
bombing.
Bante.
Bombing. So this Nalaga Bhante is an amazing Bhante in the dispensation. See, so after becoming a monk, after visiting the Supreme Buddha, he heard the Dhamma from this Buddha only once, and with that first listening, he was satisfied. He did not want to listen to any Dhamma from the Supreme Buddha. He was satisfied. Waiting for 35 years, he listened to this Dhamma, and he was satisfied with one listening. See, he was amazing. And then he met the Buddha only one time, and with that first meeting, he was satisfied. He never again came to see the Supreme Buddha. Only one time, only once. He saw the Supreme Buddha, and that's it. He didn't come to see the Supreme Buddha again because he was very, very satisfied. And then the third fact, only once he would go for alms, food to a village and would never return to the same village again. His fewness and his simple lifestyle. He go to a certain village and he never visited that village again. And he visited a different village back. Only once he received alms from the house and never visited that house again. No wonder if he does not visit the same village, he doesn't visit his family. He lived under a shade of a tree. See, he doesn't have a hut or a kuti or something. Or in an open space. He lived there for only for one day and never returned to the same place again. Within 7 months, Nalaka attained arahantship and thereafter attained final Nibbana beside the Hingula mountain. So this is the fact we learn about Venerable Nalaka. Something very, very amazing, huh? Very wonderful. And then this is about Nalaka Bhante, Venerable Nalaka. And then our Prince Siddhartha, we will come to our Prince Siddhartha again. Prince Siddhartha, our Mahabodhisattva, had 32 amazing marks on his body. These are called Mahapurisa Lakshana. Have you heard this? It is something very different from normal people. As normal people, we do not have these marks on our body, but especially born Mahabodhisattva had these kinds of 32 special marks on his body. So in the Dhamma, we learn if someone possesses these 32 amazing marks, special marks on his body, he has two futures. Number one, if he stays in a house, in a palace or somewhere else, as a layperson, he would definitely become the monarch, the the emperor to the entire world. That is the one, what is it called? One thing that happens to the person. If he goes forth to the homelessness, or if he becomes a monk, definitely he would become a supremely enlightened Buddha. These are the two things that happens to the person who has these 32 special marks on his body. Do you know about this? But our Mahabodhisattva, as Prince Siddhartha, was born with these amazing marks on his body. We will learn about these marks to make our minds faithful in the Supreme Buddha. And especially, we will learn the reasons for having these marks for in the body of the Prince Siddhartha. This is the good merit he collected in the samsara. So, if I share my screen, maybe this. The Bodhisattva, the amazing physical great marks. I will give this part to read maybe Subodha. Subodha first. Yes.
Feet at level step. Upatitita Pado. The foot evenly places on the ground, lifts it evenly and touches the ground evenly. In many past lives where the Mahabodhisattva was born in the human world, he firmly undertook wholesome deeds, engaging in good conduct by body, speech, and mind. He lived a virtuous life, gave plenty of alms, and honored parents, teachers, and the elders of the family. For these meritorious deeds, many times he was born in the divine world.
Okay, so see, the first great mark of the Supreme Buddha is feet with level step. And you know, normally we have our step as it's not flat, okay? So when we keep our steps on the ground, you might find that our feet are not flat, but the Supreme Buddha's feet are very flat. And then this is called Suppatitita Pado. So the good merit that he collected in the samsara is, so he conducted engaged in good contact with by body, speech, and mind. He lived a virtuous life, gave plenty of foods, and honored parents, teachers, and the elders of the family. You remember, so these are good merits. So respecting others, and then teachers and elders of the family. And as a result, Subodha, if you go ahead more.
Yes, answer.
As
As
a
a
result.
result, he cannot be threatened by an enemy, internal or external. Internal enemies are greed, hatred, and delusion. External enemies can be any ascetic or Brahmin, Deva or Mara or Brahma, or anyone else in the world.
Okay, okay, very good. So, so he had this amazing mark for himself in the feet, and then with that, so he is free from any kind of threats or something. And then this is the first great mark of the Supreme Buddha, and I want you to remember. If we go to the second one, and then it is. I will give this chance to okay, let me see. Okay, many people. So if you turn your cameras on, maybe I can see you very clearly. Okay. Okay. Sensit, Senya, and 3 people. Okay. Will impression on the sole of his feet.
The foot with 1,000 charakas with clear spokes complete in every detail. In many past lives, where the Bodhisattva was born in the human world, he provided just protection and security to people. He freed people from fear, saving them from thieves, robbers, and non-human beings, involving many others. He repeatedly gave alms in abundance. During these meritorious deeds, he was reborn many times as in a heavenly world. As a
Okay.
result,
Okay.
As a result, possessing this mark of a great man gains a large following such as monks, nuns, laymen, laywomen, devas, humans, asuras, nagas, and ganabas. Together they make up a Buddha's Red Sea.
Very good. Many merits, many merits. Remember, real impression on the sole of his feet. It's if you see your fingers, maybe the thumb, you might see some kind of the lines. Okay, it's not in a proper order, maybe something like that. But Supreme Buddha's feet are like that. So he has chakras or the wheels very clear. It has 1,000 spokes very clearly we see, and it's a great mark. And then he has these marks on his feet, and because of the good merit he collected, and then with that he cannot be defeated by anyone else in the samsara. It was a good merit, and it was a very special great mark of the Blessed One's feet. And then we will go to the next, the third, fourth, and fifth marks will be given to Okay. Someone who did not read before? Okay, Hero. Hero, this is the part you have to read. Long heels, long fingers and toes, upright body as Brahmas. Three marks. Yeah.
Every time the Bodhisattva was born in the human world, he abstained from killing living beings with stick and weapon laid aside. Careful, merciful, he abided compassionate to all living beings. As a result of that meritorious deed, he was reborn many times in the divine world. As a result, when one possessing these three marks of a great man attains Buddhahood, he enjoys long life. The Tathagata, according to his own, will attain final Nibbana.
Very good. What are the three great marks we learn? Long heels. So heel is long of the Blessed One. And then long fingers and toes, upright body as Brahmas. You know, the Brahma has a very straight body and the Supreme Buddha is like that, not crooked. And then these are the very special marks of the Supreme Buddha's body. And then because of the good karma, he abstains from killing, abstains from stealing, abstains from many bad things, and then because of the good merit, he gained these three special marks. And with that good merit, he lived long, and he had a very long lifespan. And by himself, he decides his final nibbana. See, and then we will go to the sixth special quality of the Supreme Buddha's body. Will be given to let me see. Okay, Samadhi. Samadhi. Did you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, Samadhi.
Two.
Complete muscles in 7 places.
In the back of his hands, the insteps of his feet, body, shoulders, both shoulders, and his upper back gave him immeasurable delicious food and drink of all kinds, results of that meritorious deed. He was reborn in many times in the heavenly world. In the heaven, passing away there from there, and being reborn as a human being. He acquired his great mark. As a result, this great man attained Buddhahood. Whatever food and drink he receives is delicious and superb.
Oh, sadhu, sadhu. Very good. So remember the 6th great mark of the Supreme Buddha. Complete muscles in 7 places. So he has perfect, complete, full of muscles in these 7 places. What are these 7 places? Back in his hands, maybe the back of the hands, like near the fingers, and yeah, and in tips of his feet, and then both shoulders and his upper back. These are the 7 places that he was very perfect muscles had, and he gave very delicious food. He donated, and he gave alms, and then as a result, he gained these amazing marks, and he would become definitely the Buddha because of this good merit. And whatever food he drinks and consumes he gains very delicious and super food and drinks for the good merit he collected. See, this is the sixth one we learn. And then we will go to the seventh and eighth good quality, the great marks of the Supreme Buddha. We will be we give this. What is Abhilash? Can you read? So I don't see you today. Okay. Soft and tender hands and feet. Relaxed, flexible hands and feet.
As the Mahabodhisattva, he practiced the four kinds of pleasing speech, beneficent conduct, impartiality. As a result, he was reborn many times in the heavenly world, passing away from there and being reborn as a human being. He acquires these great marks. When one possessing these marks of the great man attains Buddhahood and properly receives the four kinds of hospitality.
Sadhu. So I want you to remember these 2 marks, soft and tender hands and feet. His hands and feet are very soft and flexible. And then the 8th one is relaxed, flexible hands and feet. Soft and relaxed the feet. The merit he collected is he practiced giving, pleasing speech, beneficial conduct, and impartiality. So these are the things he practiced. So we will go to the next one. Maybe I will give you I will give the 9th and 8th one to okay, someone who did not read before. Oh, nobody else. If you raise your hands. Okay, Senon. Senon, did you hear me?
එහෙම ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ.
High raised ankles, upward ending body hair.
He spoke pleasing words that brought happiness to many people. He shared the Dhamma with others. As a result of that meritorious deed, he was born many times in the heavenly world. Passing away from there and being reborn as a human being, he acquired these great marks of a great man. As a result, when one possessing these marks of a great man attains Buddhahood, he becomes the foremost, chief, supreme, and superior among beings.
Very good. Sadhu, sadhu. So I want you to remember these high raised ankles and then upward ending body hair. So very special marks that our Supreme Buddha had. And then Yahali will read this part. Lower leg like those of an antelope deer.
The Mahabodhisattva carefully and diligently taught skills and crafts to others, thinking, may they quickly learn these skills and crafts. May they learn properly with ease. In this way, he lovingly taught others. As a result, he was reborn many times in the heavenly world, passing away from there and being reborn as a human being. He acquired this mark of a great man. When one possessing these marks of a great man attains Buddhahood, he receives the 4 basics and extra facilities befitting of a monk.
Sadhu, sadhu. So lower leg like those who are an antelope deer. Antelope deer is an animal lives in the Western world. Maybe it's not in the Eastern countries. Antelope deer very soft, maybe in Himalayas they live, okay? And then the legs, lower legs are like very soft and very strong of the Supreme Buddha. So the good merit he collected was he taught the his skills, and then Dhamma, maybe sometimes some good qualities to the other people with a kind heart, with compassion, and made they learn this Dhamma very well. That was the idea he had in his mind. So even if you do something very good with that idea, maybe sometimes if you help your sisters, maybe your brothers, maybe your family or someone else with a good heart, with a kind heart, may they learn this. May my sister do the homework very well. Like in such an idea, if you have that, also a good merit. That was a very powerful good merit that helps us in the samsara to have a very good life. Okay, and then we will go to the next part, and then smooth skin that dust and dirt do not stick. We'll go to Abiru. Did you read today before?
Okay.
You didn't read, huh? Okay,
Yeah.
this is your chance. It's a little longer.
Smooth skin that dust and dirt do not stick. In many past lives, when he was born in the human world, he made a great effort to develop wisdom. He approached ascetics and Brahmins and asked, Venerable Sir, what is wholesome? What is unwholesome? What is right? What is wrong? What should a wise person develop? What should he not cultivate? What deeds would lead to my welfare and happiness for a long time? What deeds would lead to my harm and suffering for a long time? As a result, he was reborn many times in the heavenly world. Passing away from there and being reborn as a human being, he gained this mark of a great man. When one possessing these marks of a great man attains Buddhahood, he has great wisdom, broad wisdom, joyous wisdom, quick wisdom, keen wisdom, and penetrative wisdom.
Sadhu, sadhu. So smooth skin, and then he had a very smooth skin. The and dust very clear and very soft, and he doesn't have any dirt on his skin, because he was very curious about what is good, what is bad, and he wanted to practice something very good. As a result, he gained these marks, and then he became the Buddha. And actually, so uh, he was very keen on finding right thing in his life in the samsara. We'll go to the next part, and then he had a golden skin. This is for Aga. Okay.
My Bante. In many past lives, when he was born in human world, he was not ill-tempered and never gave into anger or hatred. No matter how much others insulted, criticized, or accused him, he did not get angry or annoyed. He instead dwelt with a mind of loving kindness. As a result, he was reborn many times in heavenly world, passing away from there and being reborn as a human being. He acquired this great mark of a great man. When one having these marks of a great man attains Buddhahood, he received soft and fine covering rags and clothes.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So golden skin. He had a golden skin, in the time of the Supreme Buddha. The Arahant Bhantes, the enlightened Bhantes, named gold, gold as Sattu Vanno. Sattu means the teacher, Vanno means the color. So Sattu Vanno means the color of the teacher, color of the Buddha. Because the color of the Buddha is gold, they call the gold as Sattu Vanno, which means color of the gold. Did you get the idea? So because the Buddha was in golden color, and then as the good merit he collected, like he did not get angry, and he had this loving kindness in his mind. Even if he is criticized very badly, he did not get angry, and as a result he gained and he became the Buddha. And then this part is for Arjuna. I will give. Arjuna is there.
Anyway, sir.
Okay. It's a special mark of the Supreme Buddha.
Number 14. A male orchid concealed as if enclosed in a sheath. The Mahabodhisattva, in many past lives, reunited the separated relatives, friends, loved ones, and companions who had suffered living apart from one another. He created concord among those who were divided, allowing them to live together in peace and happiness. Enjoy seeing people live in harmony, unity, and peace among one another. As a result, the Mahabodhisattva was reborn many times in the heavenly world, passing away from there and being reborn as a human being. He acquired this mark of a great man. When one possessing these marks of a great man attains Buddhahood, he has many thousands of monastic disciples, sons of the Buddha, who are exceptionally skilled in destroying the defilements, in crushing the army of defilements, heroic in abandoning the unwholesome and developing the wholesome.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, so it's a special mark of the Supreme Buddha. Because of he practiced, he wanted to reunite the separate people, and then he gained. He had this kindness and compassion with the people, and because of that good merit, he gained this special mark on his body, and then because of that good mark, so he cannot be defeated by anyone else, and that was a special mark. And then the next one is for thank you, Arjuna, for your beautiful reading anyways. So if we have any trouble listening, and then Peter, okay, equally proportions body like a banyan tree, standing without bending. He can touch his knees with both hands.
The Mahabodhisattva, in many past lives, when he was born in the human world, he identified the skills of people. This person deserves such and such, that person deserves such and such, and treated people in the manner they deserve. As a result, he was reborn many times in the heavenly world. There and being born a human being, he acquired these great marks of great. He becomes rich and wealthy. The wealth of faith, virtue, the wealth of moral shame, the wealth of moral dread, the wealth of Dharma knowledge, the wealth of generosity, and the wealth of wisdom.
Thank you for your beautiful reading. Thank you, Peter. So equally proportions body like a banyan tree. So his body is very straight and very complete and perfect body. And then he can touch his feet, he can touch his knees without bending and then he has very long hands, which means so he practiced many kinds of good deeds, and especially when he was having his mark of a great man attained Buddhahood, he becomes rich and wealthy. So the Buddhas are rich and wealthy. What is the wealth he has? Wealth of faith, wealth of virtue, wealth of moral shame, wealth of moral dread, wealth of Dhamma knowledge, wealth of generosity, wealth of wisdom. These are the wealth the Supreme Buddhas had. Okay, we will go to the next part, and then I will give you this chance to uh, anyone else? Okay, Linda.
Nama Bunda, Bante? Who was that?
Nama Bunda, yes.
Was that me, Bante?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Bante. Hold on. Okay. A majestic frontal body like that of a lion, muscular back, evenly built trunk. The Mahabodhisattva in many past lives, born in the human world, desire for the good, the welfare, the success, and security of the people, thinking, how might they flourish in faith, virtue, Dharma knowledge, generosity, and wisdom, in wealth and grain, fields and land, cattle and children and wives. In this way, he worked hard to ensure the welfare of the people. As a result, he was reborn many times in the heavenly world. Passing away from there and being reborn as a human being, he acquired these great marks of a great man. When one having these marks of a great man attains Buddhahood, he does not decline in any good qualities he has developed within himself. His disciples too do not decline in any good qualities they have developed within themselves by following the Dhamma taught by the Buddha.
Sadhu, 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 sadhu. So, majestic frontal body like that of a lion. He had a very brave look, okay, so like a lion, and muscular back and evenly built trunk. So, because of the good merit, he gained these good qualities, okay. And then next part is for Dino. Did you read Pute?
No, Sansa.
Then you have the next good quality of the Blessed One, taste buds that enhance the taste of food. Yeah.
Taste buds that enhance the taste of food. When he was born in the human world, he dwelled with much love and compassion towards beings. He did not hurt living beings with fists, stones, clubs, or weapons. As a result, he was reborn many times in the heavenly world, passing away from there and being reborn as a human being. He acquired this mark of a great man. When one having this mark of a great man attains Buddhahood, he has few diseases and little illness. He has a good digestion, being neither too hot nor too cold, but medium and fit for striving.
Very good. Sadhu, sadhu. So I want you to remember the mark of the Supreme Buddha. The special mark he had is taste buds that enhance the taste of food. That's about on his tongue, and then even he has what kind of food he takes the perfect taste when he eats. Okay, it's a great mark he had. And then we quickly go to the next part, and then I will give you this chance to so I don't see. So if you raise your hands, maybe. Okay. Imash Putta, did you read?
No.
Okay. This is your chance then.
Okay.
Okay. Deep blue eyes, big eyes like that of a newborn calf.
When the Mahabodhisattva was born in the human world, he did not look angrily at others. Being honest, he looked at others openly with kind eyes. As a result, he was reborn many times in the heavenly world. Passing away from there and being reborn as a human being, he acquired these great marks of a great man. Many people loved to see and look upon him. His sight is pleasing and agreeable to monks, nuns, laymen, laywomen, devas, humans, asuras, nagas, and Gandharvas.
Gandhabas. Sadhu Sadhu, I rejoice in the good merit you collected by reading. So, in the Supreme Buddha statue as well, you see a very big blue eyes, and then the eyes like a newborn cow, very, very charming and very beautiful, because he did not see at any people, at anyone else with an angry mind, with a very harmful mind. Okay, and then he had compassion, he had loving kindness. When he looks around, when he looks at people, he had this compassion all over the samsara. Okay, okay, Diana, did you read that with it? Okay, okay, this chance is for you then. Quickly we go.
The Mahabodhisattva in many past lives was the leader for many people to develop the wholesome and accurate merit. He encouraged others to undertake wholesome deeds, such as good conduct by body, speech, and mind, giving and sharing, observing precepts, respecting and caring for mother and father. The ascetics and Brahmas honored the leader in the family, and various and virtuous other things pertaining to wholesome qualities. He was reborn many times in the heavenly world, passing away from there and being reborn as a human being. He acquired this mark of a great man. When one possessing this mark of a great man attains Buddhahood, he receives a large following of monks, nuns, and laywomen, devas, humans, asuras, nagas, and Gandharvas.
Yes.
Gandharvas, who lived by the Dhamma.
Very good, Sadhu Sadhu. Thank you for your reading. What was the great mark of the Supreme Buddha we were talking about? Flat, tall forehead. If you see the beautiful statue of the Supreme Buddha, you will see this beautiful great mark of the Supreme Buddha. And then next chance is, this is by Sinali.
Yes, Swami Mahansa.
Okay. Separate body hairs per paw. Number 25. A tuft of hair soft and white like cotton wool between his brows.
The Mahabodhisattva in many past lives born in the human world, abandoning the lying, he abstained from lying. He abstained from deceiving others. He followed the truth, spoke the clear truth. He was trustworthy and reliable, one who was not deceiver of the world. As a result, he was reborn many times in the heavenly world, passing away from there and being reborn as a human being. He acquired these marks of a great man. Possessing these marks of a great man, he attains Buddhahood. Monks, nuns, laymen, laywomen, devas, humans, asuras, nagas, and Gandharvas obey him and follow to his teachings.
Sadhu Sadhu Anumodami. So separate body hairs per paw means when he has the body hairs, he had only single one hair on his body, and then that's how he had this great mark. A tuft hair, soft and white, like cotton wool between his brows. I just want to talk about this a little bit. Maybe you see on the statue of the Supreme Buddha, between the eyebrows, you see silver color mark. Okay, it was a hair. In Sri Lanka, we have this in the Great Stupa in Mihintale enshrined. This is called the this is a very special great mark of the Supreme Buddha. And then the next one is for okay, Vinuda. Vinuda, I don't see you.
The Ma Bodhisattva.
Sorry, was it me?
Vinuda.
The Ma Bodhisattva in many past lives in the human world never spoke devisely. He did not speak words that led to harm. He spoke words to peace and harmony. As a result, he was born many times in the heavenly world, passing away from there and being reborn in the as a human being. He acquired these marks of a great man. When one possesses these marks of a great man, attains Buddhahood, he received reunion with of followers that cannot be divided by anyone in the world. His followers were monks, nuns, laymen, laywomen, devas, humans, asuras, nagas, and
Gandambas.
Cannot be divided as long as the Buddha is alive.
Sadhu, sadhu, I rejoice your beautiful reading. So he has 40 teeth, upper 20 and lower 20, and gapless teeth. Okay. Okay, next one is for Senila. Did you read? Okay, Senila.
No,
Yeah, 28 and 29. Large and white tongue he had, and then 29 is the voice of a great Brahma as sweet as the Indian cuckoo. He has a very beautiful, sweet voice. Yes, Senila.
The Bodhisattva in many past lives in the human world, he never spoke harshly. He abstained from harsh speech. He spoke such words that are gentle, pleasing to the ear, and lovable, as go to the heart, are courteous, desired by many, and agreeable to many. As a result, he was reborn many times in the heavenly world. Passing away from there and being reborn as a human being, he acquired these marks of a great man. When one possessing these marks of a great man attains Buddhahood, his words are well received by all. The Buddha's followers takes his words to heart with great respect.
Sadhu, sadhu, I rejoice. And then Sandesh. Sandesh, next part is for you. Strong like jaws.
Hey, my Swaminand. The Maha Bodhisattva, in many past lives in the human world, did not engage in ideal chatter. He spoke at the right time, spoke what is fact, spoke what is useful, spoke on the Dhamma, spoke words that encourage discipline and self-restraint. He spoke in the moderation such words as are worth remembering, responsible, and meaningful. As a result, he was reborn many times in the heavenly world, passing away from there and being reborn as a human being. He acquired this mark of a great man. When one possessing this mark of a great man attains Buddhahood, he cannot be destroyed by any force or enemy, whether internal or external.
Sadhu, sadhu, I rejoice. What was the great mark that the Supreme Buddha had? Strong lion-like jaws. And then the last one, maybe the 31 and 32 for Dinara. Even teeth, bright white teeth.
And bright white teeth.
The Bodhisattva in many past lives in the human world gave up wrong livelihood and earned his living by right livelihood. He abstained from false weight, scales, and measures. He was reborn many times in the heavenly world, passing away from there and being reborn as a human being. He gained these marks of a great man. When one having this mark of a great man attains Buddhahood, his followers possesses pure and refined qualities.
Sadhu, sadhu, very good. Okay, in this way, the Mahabodhisattva who had collected much merit in samsara gained these 32 great marks of a great person. So I'm happy that many children joined to read the scripts today, and then I'm happy. And everything we learned about the Supreme Buddha is a great merit we have collected. So our great teacher, the Supreme Buddha, was very fortunate and meritorious, collecting good merits. He became the Supreme Buddha. So we should be very faithful in the Supreme Buddha's qualities. And then learning these beautiful information about our Supreme Buddha, absolutely we can make our mind faithful. And that is also a great good merit that we collect. And then at the end of the program, we are happy to share this good merit with all the heavenly beings. And may all the heavenly beings be happy about the good merit and give their support and protection to these good people to practice the good Dhamma. May they also be fortunate to understand the noble truths in this samsara. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. We are happy to share this good merit with our Pinnath Loku Swamin Wahanse. May our Loku Swamin Wahanse be well, be happy, and live long. May our Loku Swamin Wahanse be very fortunate to understand the noble truths very soon in this Gautam Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.